So we join and we create a group called we create a group called Clip.
Clip?
Yes, CLIP.
Okay, we'll give a shout out to some of the guys in that group.
So of course, David Mbao, my best friend, Job Ochieng, my cousin, is in the States. Eric Munyoli was also in the States. So we're doing this thing called Clip, which was crowning the Lord in praise.
You guys, before that, was there any other rap group?
Now we're not doing rap. This is a cappella.
Or singing?
This is singing.
Okay.
This is proper singing. And we're doing that whole circuit of KAG Buru. That was the biggest church in Buruburu. Okay, AIC Jericho, Deliverance Church, Isili. You come back up, NPC Valley Road, Nairobi Baptist Church. Now these were the churches that you had to be in, for you to be in that cool circuit.
As Clip, who are your peers? Who are you guys looking and being like?
So the guys we're looking up to is Pete Odera, Aizo.
Hat, is Hat there?
No, Hat is being formed, but now they're individuals before they're coming together.
Oh, so this is even before
this is Pete Odera. Now Pete Odera, the groups were in churches. So Nairobi Baptist had their own churches, many churches, but their group there was called Triumph, which was Pete, Gowi, Odera, those brothers, their sister. So it was a lot of guys there. They do live stuff and everything. And then on this other side, you have NPC had, there were two hot groups. One of them, brothers, there were two, a girls group and a boys group. Pastor Ondachi's wife, Yvette, was in one group, girls group, with Diana and a couple of other people. So there are all these groups happening. Langata, there was a church in Langata, but it had the likes of Big Kev, Jimmy Okungu, John Ngugi, who grew up there. Kina Steve Ominde now are down here in Uko South E, So we meet only at the New Year raves at Nairobi Baptist Church. But after you finish exams, there was something called Karibuni at Nairobi Baptist. So Kari was where we'd go now, like ExCANs, and meet and just hang out, like every day, Beautiful programs, because it helped us, nurture us, and root us. But at the same time, you're aiming for a cadet there to get Word of Life. Wadi. So Wadi had a camp in Kanyariri, here in Kikuyu, and Kosto. So you work through the Word of Life, you become a counselor. So counselor means you live there. So guys come, you can counsel them. Like you're cool guys. Then Kosto. Then on the other side, there was YMCA, which had youth camps. So YMCA was more like the secular one. Like they had just life.
And you were in both worlds. That's what shocked me.
So you see, remember, your dad is a bish.
Yeah.
So there's this whole church thing going for you, but you've seen this outside and they're like,
you're like, DS.
So you're everywhere. So you leave on Monday, you're at from 10 o'clock, 12, you're at YMCA at the poolside. That's where cool guys used to go. And you just hang out there.
And are you meeting anybody in the industry, the other guys?
So you're meeting, so you're meeting guys, but that industry also that time is not as big. You only have a few guys there, people like Zanaziki, Guido, my other brother who went to be with the Lord, Bruce Odhiambo. But those are legends. You cannot even think of talking to them. Like, where will you find them?
So these are the guys who are now rocking the Kenyan music industry.
Those guys are in their own world, doing their own thing. You hear about Akina. You just hear about them. There's a concert, there's this, there's an Aziki happening. But also during that time, things are bubbling up. Alliance Francaise is bubbling. Kenya National Theatre is bubbling. At Alliance, we have people like Jabali Africa, who we are from the same hood, who are growing and coming. Bakulutu Africa, and guys are playing drums, Rare Watts, guys from Demta. So everything is happening. It's just bubbling. There was a dance groups called Jam City, Kina Lausenga, who won the winner car.
Yes, they won the Jam City.
Yes,
they won it.
So you have all these things, and if you go to Dreams 90 on Mombasa Road, you find Jam City. They're cool guys. They've just posed, and at some point they stand up and do routines, and you're like, "Oh my God, we only see these things on TV on Beat Time."
What about the acting world? Is it still being ingrained in this whole thing?
The acting world is coming up, and you're also plugged in because that time we had a system called Mavuno. So Mavuno was
No relation to
actually
the church.
none.
The church is not even
Mavuno, but was being run by people like Akina Moneki Mageria. And Mavuno was a creative hub for churches for the acting and stage world.
guys like
And every season we'd have we had Mavuno Wily Wait. There's the Mavuno Drama Festival, there's the Mavuno Awards. You know, people like Reverend Tom Muteno, now who went and hubbed at All Saints.
yes.
So now they were the dons there. If you go there, you find Akina Tom, the youth leaders now. If you go to Nairobi Baptist, Akina Pastor Ndachi were the ones who were in charge. If you go to Parklands Baptist, you had the boys who changed later to be called Safari. You know, so they're the ones in charge. Pastor Nyangao was there, Pastor Simon giving us the place to do whatever we want to do. So this was happening. But it's happening. Glory Tabernacle also shows up from behind the scenes. And we're at YMCA, we meet this Nigerian young guy, flamboyant as hell. He's like, listen, you guys can come to my church, Bana. We're like, you know us guys, we are DJs, I have to board my mass. You're like, Francis, you are the guys that want you to come to my church. We're like, what? There's a church which can allow us to do this?
Explain it to somebody who may not understand being dressed, how conservative the church was in terms of...
Number one, Chiles must funga kitamba. There was no for Chiles wearing trousers. It was considered a sin. Jamas, you could not come from the rave, you get the church. There's nothing like that. In fact, if you're ever seen in a rave, excommunicated. You could never get pregnant and the church allows you. In fact, I think the church lost a lot of people because they didn't have the grace to hold on to people and to nurture people.
So here comes somebody who is telling you come as you are. AKA Doctor. It's Dr. Wily.
Dr. Wily, Akinyemi. Another guy we have to celebrate. But let me go the other side. So, Diaz, big show at the carnival. There was another show at the barn. So what have I done? I've started now walking around with boys from Demta. I pimp them to shows as their manager. The group is K-South.
I want to always know this. I hear K-South had 3 guys.
Yes.
What's this thing of 3 guys? Okay, go on.
There are 3. Actually, Abbas's bro disappeared. Just disappeared, never found. Nobody knows where he went to. We don't know where he is. Till today. And he was a lyrical genius. I have a picture actually.
Okay, so Abbas and his bro
and Tim.
That guy was
Bamboo.
They were in your hood. Just explain it.
Because Kariobangi South is just next to where we used to stay.
Hence why they're called K-South.
K-South flavor. Kariobangi South flavor. So you find people, and remember that this time we have a lot of families moving back from the States. Their parents went, they came back, and people trying to establish themselves. So you have a very good mix of people who are there. You know, hence the accents and being able to do a lot of hip hop. And hip hop is bubbling, and the church is like, that's devil worship music. Rock and roll is big. Guys are doing backward masking and saying, oh, all these things are about. But I remember one of the songs which is featured in the rock and roll is by Zeppelin. Big dreams. Big dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? And guys are saying in the song, Big Dreams, this guy says, well, you know, like those. So it's chaos. You're growing in between this world, and you have to find your place.
I remember Crossroads, Bonsags. Boom, 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 boom. That one was Yanni.
It's man is playing in my head like crazy. So Mathri is also blowing up. So how are guys listening to music? Tips, Mathri has this mix. The DJ is big, the artist is big. The Mathri with music is the one which we panda.
But you're not listening to Kenyan music.
Kenyan music is not there yet.
Okay.
It's yes. So the guys who are doing Kenyan music, it's very popish. It's not the new generation. And that's why I believe that every generation has a voice. Ours was different. This voice for this generation is the Genge tone.
Yes.
And regardless of whatever we say, it has its place in history. And it's the language. It's the language that they're speaking. So my biggest break. So I'm a comedian. My friend go like,
but we're coming back to this.
It's on a Thursday.
we're coming back to this bamboo story.
It's on a Thursday. So my friend tells me, oh, by the way, there's this big thing. There's a comedy night, actually a comedy talent search, at the carnival.
Hold on, let's change some buttons. We're coming back right now to continue this story. Thank you, Sarova, for this amazing room. Yani, this convoys. Loving it. We'll be back in a sec.
You okay?